What if I told you that the future of wealth isn't about working harder or grinding every single day, but about building a system that works for you? Imagine waking up every morning knowing that your digital asset is working for you 24/7, even while you sleep. It's not some futuristic dream, it's the pipeline principle. And it's changing the way we create wealth, live freely, and gain control over our financial future. For years, we've been told that success means working harder, trading hours for dollars, or investing in physical assets like real estate or stocks. We've been sold this idea that wealth is for the few who own something big or have a lot of capital to invest. But what if the game has changed? What if there's a way to skip all that and start building something that not only creates value for you, but also grows on its own? Let me tell you a story. Take someone like 𝗬𝗢𝗡𝗥, for example. He didn't get to where he is by simply creating content and hoping it would work. He spent years building his authority, shaping his personal brand, and positioning himself as a leader in the world of business and entrepreneurship. Once his authority was established, the content he created became a magnet for people who trusted his insights, wanted to learn from him, and eventually became his customers. This is exactly how the pipeline principle works. It's not just about creating content, it's about using your content to build your authority and nurture relationships that transform into opportunities, sales, and success. The pipeline principle is about owning that system. It's about creating a digital pipeline, whether that's through content, products, services, or expertise. This keeps bringing opportunities to you without needing constant, active input. When you own your pipeline, you're no longer dependent on time to generate income. You can create once and have it work for you over and over again. The longer you feed the pipeline, the more it compounds, bringing you more opportunities, more customers, and more success. But here's the thing. Not everyone knows about this principle yet, and those who do, they're way ahead of the game. They've already built their digital pipelines and are seeing the results. The ones who recognize that the future of wealth generation isn't about how much time you spend working, it's how much value you can build and automate. Doesn't that sound incredible? The power of the pipeline principle is that it levels the playing field. You don't need to be born into wealth or have a massive budget to get started. What you need is the willingness to build and nurture your pipeline. Take content creators, for example. They don't just create content, they create content that supports their authority, builds trust, and engages their audience over time. Over time, that content becomes a digital asset that generates passive income, helps them build a brand, and opens up new opportunities. Or think of freelancers who build an online presence. They don't just post and hope for the best. They nurture their personal brand, feed it with valuable insights, and create content that positions them as trusted experts. As their authority grows, so does their pipeline, and they attract more clients and generate more income. And it's not just for creators and business owners. Imagine someone who builds a personal brand. They start with a few followers, post regularly, and engage with their audience. Little by little, the pipeline grows, attracting more followers, increasing engagement, and ultimately leading to brand partnerships, speaking gigs, or consulting opportunities. All without working harder, just nurturing and growing the pipeline. So what goes into the pipeline? The initial value you create, content, knowledge, services, or relationships. The things that you nurture, refine, and add to over time. What happens inside the pipeline? The value is transformed and compounded as it's refined, optimized, and continuously built upon. And what comes out of the pipeline? Opportunities, clients, revenue, personal growth, and even freedom. The output is the reward for the work you've put into building your pipeline. But here's the best part. This is just the beginning. Once your pipeline is in motion, it becomes self-sustaining. You don't have to keep pushing, chasing, or worrying. The more you nurture it, the more it generates for you. That's the compounding power of the pipeline principle. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. It's a principle of sustainable wealth and long-term value creation. And the best time to start is now, before everyone else realizes how powerful this is. The earlier you build your pipeline, the bigger the rewards when it compounds. Are you ready to stop trading time for money? To start building a system that works for you instead of you constantly working for it? Because once you unlock the pipeline principle, you're no longer tied to the old way of doing things. You're creating something bigger, something more valuable, something that grows on its own. Start building your pipeline today, because the future belongs to those who control the flow of value. Thank you for watching. Talk soon.